Hey, Dave here from DC On Screen. If you're following us on Facebook, you might have seen us posting artwork that has been sent to fans. This was sent to fans of DC On Screen as part of a promotion. How can you get your own artwork? Simply go over to iTunes or Stitcher and leave us good ratings or reviews. Or, bad ones if you just gotta be a dick. And then email us at dconscreen@gmail.com. Tell us who you want us to draw, who you want to draw it, Dave or Jason, and leave us an address. If you like, you can send us pictures of yourself with the drawing after we send it, and we'll post it to our Facebook page where you can tag yourself. This promotion ends March 31st, by the way, so you have to get those reviews in. Jason, do you have anything else to add?
It's a little for a lot, Dave. It's a little for a lot.
It is a little for a lot. We try so hard.
We need your help. We're asking. Our humble offering.
Humble, like pie. Anyway, man, settle back, listen to a brand new episode of DC On Screen starting right the hell now. Welcome in to DC On Screen. I am your host, David C. Robertson. This is my co-host, Jason Goss.
Hi.
And we are recording episode 126 of DC On Screen, where we will be getting super spoilery and reviewing Legends of Tomorrow 107 Marooned. So I think this might be the best episode yet.
Completely on the other side of you.
Are you serious?
Yep.
Why?
Least favorite episode so far.
Well, this is quite a conundrum.
I thought we might have that reaction though. Don't get me wrong.
Why?
I loved the Heatwave Captain Cold stuff. That bromance was excellent, just excellent.
Yeah.
And I liked seeing part of Rip's backstory. It's just I don't know, man. Maybe I was just in the wrong frame of mind or something. But the episode had this dialogue was so bad that I couldn't get behind a lot of it.
I mean,
I'm only talking about parts, mind you, parts. I just because let me put it this way: when I say didn't enjoy the episode, I don't mean I hate the show, man. I mean it was still a good show and I enjoyed it. It's just this was not as good as the other. Like they've had better dialogue in most of the season so far. But one of the first ones that really hit me, and I think it may be her fault in general. They get trapped in that little in the airlock area, right?
Sure.
And you have Snart say like, "Well, at least we know the doors work." Pretend I used a few more syllables so it sounds better. But and Sarah comes behind with pokes her head up like a fucking puppy dog in a car window. Yeah, too bad we're on the wrong side of them. Damn it, Lots. Damn it. Not acceptable. And I guess I think from that point on I was almost like on the lookout for a bad light, because even later when Rip's telling at the very end of the episode here when Rip has the understanding with his other Timemaster about she doesn't understand why he's doing it, but he did her a good turn, so she's gonna look the other way and all that stuff, and gives him the software and great. And then I think she says I still don't understand why you're doing this, and he just says it's called love, which I know is a callback. It's a callback to something that she said in their history, and it's okay, but it was bad. Better line every day. Just say family. Just say family and turn your back and walk away.
Maybe. I don't know.
And it set me on the wrong. It got me on the wrong frame of mind though, because when I went back to her speech and she does the giant speech about love, I'm thinking, oh my god, blah 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 blah. Yes, y'all were a cute couple.
I don't know. It was.
I'm getting my bitching out of the way early. I just had I had some problems with some of the dialogue this week. There's parts of it fell flat as a result. I'm getting my bitching out of the way because there's a lot of this shit that I loved that I'd rather talk about.
Yeah, I thought it was kind of cute that they had a software update for the Waverider that they needed.
That amused me. Yeah.
I liked their I kind of wanted them to steal the other ship because the exhaust on that ship was blue.
I feel you there. I do.
It was prettier than the Waverider.
No, the software update thing. The thing that it did that I really loved was it gave me a good reason for this bottle episode. That's what it amounted to, because I was wondering. He ends the previous episode with, "We're going to the one place he won't expect." Okay, well, where? And then we get to this episode, and he's in there watching videos of his family. Which, by the way, great job, Arthur Darvill.
Yeah, man,
that is a textbook picture of forlorn right there.
Mm-hmm.
But we go back to him now, and he can't figure out why, and it's because he doesn't have the software, and that's why they actually go try to help out a ship in the middle of the whole thing. Because the whole point of the whole, like, the Star City episode was, we're going to leave you behind. Like, if you lose focus and try to save too many things, you can't be too much of a hero here. You can't stop everything. So I was wondering, when I read the description for this one, okay, why are we doing this now? Mm-hmm. But software update was good enough. That worked for me.
Yeah, I felt like this was the Ariel episode.
Yeah, I
where
dig
like
that.
Mick finally decides to really turn on the crew, and I dug everything with Mick and Snart. I liked Sarah in this episode. I kind of did. Like, I liked how she was like, and they've been playing up the Snart and Sarah relationship a little bit. I'm not saying they're going to get down or anything, because she still has to fall in love with that chick from the 50s who can't be a lesbian or whatever. Because
I don't like them
50s.
Romantically, but I like them being like a new team, since Mick might be time to take Mick to the vet.
Dude, I love the pain on Miller's face, man, on Snart's face when he realizes that he has to put Mick down.
Yeah.
Oh God.
And
so
do you think?
good.
Let me go ahead and cut to the chase on this. Do you think he's dead?
Probably not.
Are you kind of hoping that he just froze him and they're going to take the whole giant block of ice and put it in the fridge till the whole thing's over with?
Oh gosh, I didn't think about that, but I don't
Maybe there's
know.
a walk-in freezer somewhere on the ship.
I might
Strap
be
him to
okay
the wall.
with that. I might be okay with that.
I don't want to lose him. I don't. I really don't. I mean, I'm okay with it, but
with the way Snart is, though, I kind of like. I want to see him deal with the fact that he killed his best friend. I actually kind of want to see that a lot.
I could see him taking it out on the rest of the team.
I would rather see Wentworth Miller dealing with that and how he portrays that than I would ever hear Mick grumble about not being able to use his gun again. That's not to say...
I can feel you on that. That's fine. They did something with this. I don't know how many things they can do after this episode that I'm not going to like with what they did, with where they left it.
Mm-hmm. Like, I'm not saying I don't like Dominic Purcell, because I like him. I mean, shit, man. I watched Dominic back in the days when he was doing John Doe on Fox, another short-lived sci-fi series. Ended long before it should have. Watching these cats together makes me want to go back and watch Prison Break. But I remember Dominic Purcell as like Drake, the little I don't know what he was, Scene Kid Dracula in Blade Trinity or whatever.
I don't remember that at all.
He was Dracula in Blade Trinity.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That one's been too long. No, he's been great so far. I'll miss him. I'll miss his character. I don't necessarily. I'm not opposed to killing him. I'm not. But it doesn't mean I won't remember him fondly.
No. I didn't feel like we really needed the Rip Hunter backstory as much as apparently the showrunners did. Like, I kind of got it. I was like, they explained it already. Like, oh, cool. So you were a time master and you had a family because you loved them, and you broke that rule because you love your family. Okay, I get it. I don't need to see how you guys met or whatever.
No,
I don't need to see you guys playing tonsil hockey. That's cool.
And the fucking dickless time masters that officiate you. Yeah, I don't know.
Right.
I could have done with less of it. I really could have. And on the other hand, they did something else with Rip's backstory this episode that they did quite deftly, frankly. Everyone who meets him from his past that's known Rip Hunter kind of comes in and says like, oh yeah, the great Rip Hunter. Like, just by them saying that, you know how badass he truly was. Because both his colleagues and the people he was at one point chasing are like beside themselves that they get to see this guy finally fall. He was apparently that, like, he had haters. He was so good. And you kind of buy it when he's all the bravado up front when he's trying to give Gideon extra code phrases. Which, by the way, all the fucking extra code phrases.
Yeah.
Imperiex, Conjaro.
Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah, I squealed.
Yeah.
Actually, I wrote down in all caps, and I was writing with my hands, Imperiex Onslaught, holy shit, Kanjaro. Like, I actually did write those down. And all the Star Trek references this episode were great as well.
I thought you'd like those. I really did.
I was like, dude, they're getting kind of deep track on Next Generation. Like, okay, like, Kendra knows Vash. You just improved her character like 1,000% for me.
I thought you'd like that.
Vash and Captain Picard got it on in Next Generation? Okay. All right. I mean, I'll put that aside when I'm watching the scene where you're kissing Rey and thinking, well, that's...
You got over that fast.
Yeah, you got over that. And, I mean, I was just afraid for Rey when he was outside and almost died. Now I'm afraid because it looks like you're biting his face off.
Right.
But anyway.
Those lips were blue like 2 seconds ago. Give him a ret. Like, I'm not sure they have that much stretch to him right now. Just let him breathe, damn it. I thought they were going to do mouth to mouth. I thought it was going to be that classic stupid scene, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Where, like, he wakes up in the middle of the mouth to mouth and all that stuff. I was so happy when they avoided that. Because it had all the beats leading up, right?
Yeah, in case, we have viewers who are really young and watch a lot of TV, that doesn't really happen very often. Like, where you like a girl and you just so happen to need, mouth to mouth. And that's how you guys magically get together. Like, it doesn't really work like that.
No. And I think when you wake up from, your heart having stopped, you're not really in a position to make out with anybody. Like, you wake up and start coughing and spluttering and whimpering and wondering if that is in fact urine that you feel between your legs. Like, you're not looking for a makeout session, dude. And
even if you were going to get mouth to mouth, more likely than not, on top of all of that, when you wake up, you're going to have like a plastic thing going down in your mouth, and then that person who's got their lips on yours is like some big hairy dude.
Yeah.
You'll probably have a hairball just because he was like giving you mouth to mouth because he's so hairy. It's a bad situation. It's not traditionally sexy.
But I don't know, and it's one of the things you've seen so many times you didn't want to see it again. It would have been if they had done it. I was glad they avoided it.
Yeah.
Because they took me right up to the line and showed me what they might do, and I was okay.
But you know what would have been actually more interesting than seeing Rip Hunter's background?
What's that?
Actually seeing Mick and Snart's background.
Oh, actually getting to see it? Yeah. I mean, even Snart talking about it was amazing. He's been standing up for me ever since. Just, fucking, right here, right?
Yeah. So why are we getting this How I Met Your Mother bullshit?
I don't know, man. It was... everything about the Captain Cold Heatwave stuff was just romantic as all hell.
Mm-hmm.
Just man love. Wonderful, wonderful, sweet man love. Wonderful, sweet, platonic, crime-heavy man love.
Right. Brothers in arms.
A side of murder and a dash of mayhem. How bad did you feel for Mick, though, when Rip goes off on him?
Yeah.
That was cold, dude. Cold.
Mm-hmm.
IQ of meat. Shit.
I wasn't really sure what that meant.
It felt right, though, did it?
No, it didn't. Because, I guess aside from computers, everything on this planet that has a real IQ is meat. We just happen to be living meat.
I assumed he was talking about the actual flank itself, not the overall creature housing meat.
Mm.
I assumed he was talking about, like, a pork loin.
I would have really enjoyed it and laughed really hard, even though it would have been the wrong beat to play. But I would have loved if he would have followed up. You have the IQ of meat, and then followed it up with, "You are a pork chop, sir."
You have the IQ of meat. What kind of meat? It doesn't fucking matter what kind of meat.
Oh, he totally should have asked what kind of meat. It's Mick. He totally should have asked what kind of meat.
All right, you can't say it doesn't fucking matter. So it responds like, "Porterhouse, I don't care."
It's like, what does it matter? Mick goes, "I don't know, filet mignon seems kind of smart."
Sounds classy.
He's like, "Not filet mignon."
Right.
Oh.
Hot dog. Oh.
I did. I felt bad for Mick, though.
That was rough. That's a rough thing to hear. And when he betrays him later, you're not exactly surprised.
Yeah.
I kept hoping it was a deep track play. And even when they come back and him and Snart are talking, I kept hoping it was going to be one of those moments like Hawkeye and Scarlet. I was about to say Scarlett Johansson, but Hawkeye and Black Widow. Let me stick to either actors or aliases.
Mm-hmm. It's okay. I understand.
You know how they have moments of like, you remember that time in blah 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 where we did this maneuver and all that?
Right.
So they'll bring up a code word. It's an old trick, right? You bring up a code word, and that's a maneuver used. I kept hoping it was one of those, just because I just didn't want it to be Mick that goes. I guess it has to be though. I mean, they can't get rid of Jax
maybe.
unless Stein's taking on the rest of it. Apparently, though, if you do get rid of Jax, Stein will be fine anyway. But
How do
on
you
his
figure?
lonesome, he did Space Ranger Stein just fine.
Oh, yeah. He was good. I thought you meant his Firestorm for a second. Wait,
No.
what? No? Did we?
He's absolutely useless. That's Firestorm at that point. I mean, he
but
can.
yeah.
Like, if they need radiation sucked out of a part of the engine, I guess he's got your back. But other than that,
Right. Well, apparently, Jax understands everything about an engine.
Just
and
in
because
general.
of that,
just all technology.
yeah, because an engine's an engine.
Right.
As they said previously.
Right.
Incorrectly.
And yeah. The phrase I always enjoy is taking your suspension of disbelief to dizzying new heights.
Mm-hmm. And so they did when Stein, just somehow figured out where the weapon systems were. Okay.
How did you put it? If I were a weapon system on a spaceship, where would I be?
Where would I be? Yeah. Okay. Thanks for that one, writers.
You're going to backstream your way to the fucking weapon system?
Oh, man. So when they suck out the pirates out of the airlock, did you notice the Wilhelm scream?
I didn't. Was it the
Whatever.
first or the second time?
The
Or both?
second, I guess.
Second one? I'll go back and listen to that. I'll go back and listen, because that's too funny.
It's when they all grab onto the railings and they suck out all the pirates.
Right. Which had to... That had to be how they were going to deal with it.
Mm-hmm.
Just had to be. Well, that's fine. It was a cool trick. But, yeah, I'll go back and listen to the Wilhelm scream. I didn't catch that. That's awesome.
Yeah. But for the most part, Stein was actually fun enough, and there was so little Jax this episode. And I love the Mick and Snart stuff. I think it's my favorite episode.
I enjoyed a lot of it. There are parts of it that parts of it where I got on the wrong foot. There would be a line of dialogue that just got me stumbling, and then by the time I saw the next scene, I would just be, I wasn't in the right reference for it.
Well, I feel like every episode has had that.
And for some reason, maybe I was just vulnerable to it. I don't know. Hey, it happens. Did you have a reaction though, like when they're getting fired on? They're getting fired on by a fucking ship full of time pirates, which, granted, sounds awesome, except it's not actually. So when Ray's sitting in the chair and they're about to engage in some stuff, I'm gonna pull engage out just for that, I guess. But
Yay!
I just kept thinking Ray, stop smiling, you fucking idiot! You're about to die. And then later, 10 minutes later in the show, I had the same, Stein, stop smiling, you piece of shit, you're about to die. People are depending on you. Fucking put the grin away.
Yeah. It does. It seems like they're not taking it quite as seriously as they should be.
No, I mean, trust me, for me, that's a playful dig. Don't get me wrong, because it's just as fun to watch him do that, but it's hard for the voice in your head not to go dude, take this seriously for half a goddamn second. People are trying to die on you.
Scott Madison last week was talking about how he was tired of hearing Snart and the way he delivers his lines.
The 16-syllable
Yeah.
hellos.
Yeah, and after this week's episode, I actually did just go and look up some Wentworth Miller interviews, and he talks like that in real life.
Does he? I've never actually looked.
He does. He does.
Oh, I'll have to look at that now.
Like Jay Leno's talking to him. He's like, oh, you're on the show, President Break. He's like, yeah, I'm on the show. It's like, you're doing this for real? That's hilarious.
He just has a growl.
It's not as pronounced, but he's not playing a bad guy. So he's just sitting there being very snarty. And then I looked at a couple of clips from Prison Break, and I'm like, this is just this dude. This is just how he says his lines. This is how he talks. That's
pretty great.
Awful and amazing at the same time.
That's pretty great. I'm gonna have to look at that too now.
Again, not as pronounced, but it's there.
I have a favorite line out of the episode.
What's that?
Head time pirate, whatever his name was. I actually remember him from... I remember him as Leo from Californication, but whatever. I like the guy. I like that actor. I usually find him engaging. But isn't it him that says tells Mick you look like the kind of guy who would throw his grandmother out of an airlock?
Maybe. It probably was him.
So I forget what he says. Mick says, do I look like that something? And he says, yeah, you look like the kind of guy who throws his grandmother out of an airlock. I thought, yep, that's exactly what I would think. Because Mick really is like in costume with full gear on and everything. Mick's the kind of person that when you see him coming down a sidewalk, you find a good excuse to get to the other sidewalk.
Mm-hmm.
He just looks that way. He just looks genuinely scary.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, you know who I was pissed off at the entire episode? The Acheron's captain.
Oh yeah,
she was just a jerk.
She was, but I found them all to be jerks, kind of like all of the other Time Masters. Because I don't.
Yeah.
I just wasn't. It didn't seem like I had a good enough landmark for no, love is just not something that they recognize as a concept in their particular subculture. They said it. They did the whole back in time. I'm not buying it at all. Enough that when I saw her, I didn't think that was her viewpoint. I thought, come on, stop being ignorant. Like, what do you not get about what he's doing? Do you not have a family? Do you not have any kind of instinct that would like self-preservation of others that you might care about? Nothing? Like, just nothing. Why are you in charge of anything? You're a sociopath.
Yeah, she's just, you betrayed the blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay. Well, ain't got to be a big about it, man.
Right.
I mean, you made a different life decision.
Yeah. That's part of it's the major thing for me that fell flat this episode was just that. I didn't buy the love is off limits bit. That whole thing.
Now, if she had said I was in love too, but I gave it up because I felt a higher calling and this was more important. That's a different thing. Like, that's more of they could have written her to be more than a two-dimensional character. They could have, but they chose not to.
That's a very simple line. That's all it would have taken. Or even when they go back to the Time Council and one of the... Are they calling themselves a Time Council?
I don't know.
I don't know. I'm going to call them a Time Council. Whatever. The Dickless Wonders in
Time
Rogue.
douches.
Yeah. Even when they're talking, when they're condemning the guy, or the one guy that I guess represents several of them, even when he's being condemned by them, it wouldn't have taken much to just say, to just bring in that kind of line. Just, we've all made choices to be where we are because they were the right call.
Right.
It's not a lot. It's not a lot.
We've all sacrificed tonsil hockey.
Yeah.
It was the right thing to do.
I would have appreciated that line, but hey, me being underwhelmed is not a dig. I'm still very much overwhelmed on average with the show.
Yeah.
Even I know something I particularly liked. The hallway fights. There was a couple of hallway fight scenes with some time pirates.
Yeah.
A couple of things I liked. All right, watching Sarah spin her stick around is always kind of fun. It's just visually interesting. I
guess.
It only lasts for a couple seconds, but for a couple seconds, I'm like, oh, that's always fun to watch, and I move on. Yeah. But Hawk Girl, ruthless, just absolutely ruthless.
Yeah,
dug that. I always dig that. I kind of wish they'd take her out of that midriff because I just don't like that style of shirt. But
you know what I don't like? I guess I'm a '90s kid because I hate that pants go up real high now again.
Oh, yeah, I haven't been digging that.
And, they have the midriff. We gotta have the midriff. But now it's gonna be, the first rib under the boob.
Yeah, it's 1 inch under the boobs. It's just not, it's weird. I don't get it.
Yeah, it's weird, and...
I don't get it. I'm getting old, kids. I don't know what to tell you.
It's back to the 70s and 80s shit. No. I mean, if you're gonna, put her in something normal.
Right?
Or, I don't know. The current sexy is not my idea of sexy just because of the 90s. When I grew up. I don't know. It's all different now. It all changes. It goes in cycles. Different cycles of bad. Just wear jeans and a t-shirt, for God's sake. Just make it normal. Just, she's an attractive lady. Just put her in jeans and a t-shirt. It'll work.
Just put her in. She'll be fine. But all right, out of the hallway fighting though, midriff aside, Ray looked brutal, and I was really digging that. Mm-hmm. The actual look on his face. It's the first time I've seen not just anger, but visceral. Me or you, neither one of us is gonna we're not both gonna come out of this okay kind of anger. Mm-hmm. I loved it, and it's especially the last thing he has a couple of guys, and there's a couple of nice little brutal kind of. It almost looks like. kind of looks like middle of the ring, cheap wrestling moves, clothesline kind of stuff. But the last guy, he just grabs from behind and tosses him down the fucking hallway. And I yes, that's what you do with the super suit. Thank you.
Yep.
But yeah, I don't recall ever seeing like Ray Palmer's character just have that fucking look in his eye.
Yeah. I mean, I do.
Dug it. When? I don't recall it though.
Not on the show. Well,
I've seen Brandon Routh do that, but
yeah. I was just thinking of Frank Miller's Dark Knight Strikes Again when Palmer fighting the the creature in the petri dish.
I haven't read Strikes Again. No, Palmer gets mad all the time. Like, Palmer can drop a mic on you.
Yeah.
But I haven't seen Brandon Routh's Ray Palmer do it yet. And I really enjoyed that.
Yeah,
because Ray Palmer in the books is often a very angry, like fucking beside himself with how dare life do this to me character.
Right.
And, you know, when your wife turns into an evil villain and tries to kill half the Justice League, that shit'll do that. You know, you have a bad day.
Sure. You know, yeah, that's one of my favorite bits of Strikes Again is to keep Ray Palmer from mucking around with his plans. Lex Luthor shrinks him down and imprisons him in a petri dish. So to Ray Palmer, like, he doesn't know like how much time has passed, and he doesn't really even remember who he is or like how he got there or where he is. But he's just like this little naked dude with a beard, and he's got like a piece of like bone or something, or a shard of something on a stick. And like there's this like endless ocean, and he's like stuck on this little island, and this big like tentacled creature comes barreling towards him, and he like leaps up at it, and they're like it's like fighting, and it drags him underneath the water, and then he comes back out. And it turns out he's like in a petri dish, and it was just like a bacteria that he was fighting.
Right.
It was a neat trick. I liked it.
I liked it. I dig the act. I do. I got to do Strikes Again before I do Master Race.
Huh?
I got to do Strikes Again before I do Master Race. I got to get around to that at some point.
Yep. So that we can be offended by Frank Miller in a whole new way.
I mean, currently I was reading back through Kingdom Come, so I might do Dark Knight Returns next. Just a refresher course.
Alternate futures.
I always like the term Elseworld Tales. I always like those.
Those will work too.
I just like the term Elseworld.
I do too. I feel like that's one. I feel like it was a mistake for them to get rid of that.
And they never have. I mean, really. Not really. That's just what graphic novels are these days.
That's just what their line is now. So every couple of years they reboot it.
What up, Rebirth? See you soon.
All right. Do you have anything else on Legends of Tomorrow, man?
I do not.
Okay.
I do not. When are we getting back? Because they're going on a straight run for a minute, right?
Legends,
I know they're going to skip like 2 weeks somewhere. Let me figure out where.
Well, they're going to be back on the 10th. That's for sure. So we get them again this week.
So we get them this week.
And everything else is to be announced. So.
No, I've got dates on these.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, 14, 21, 28.
Where are you seeing that?
epguides.com.
Oh, Ep Guides. I'm on the Wikipedia.
Gotcha. All right, so what you got is 10, 17, and then that's where we get it. So we got Night of the Hawk. They're going to go to Oregon, and we're going to get a little... Well, it's 1950s Oregon, and as part of their like camouflage, they're going to decide to throw in like Hawk Girl and Ray Palmer into a relationship in the 50s in some backwards town in Oregon. Guess how that's going to work out?
Not well.
Yeah.
Well, if they do it right, it will not be well. It will be not well. But sometimes
if they do it the way
man,
that would work out normally.
Like, I don't know. They did this thing where I don't remember what it was. It felt like it was like, I don't know. Sometimes they like with the Egypt stuff over in Arrow and Flash and I guess in Legends. That's not what Egyptian people look like.
It's just not.
So they kind of have this weird like let's ignore race thing that can work in instances, but when you're going back into the 50s, say, especially
I think that was. It's part of the episode descriptions that I've heard. I've seen on a couple that they are going to explore race relations a little bit on the. They're going to explore the topic a little bit.
Right. That's good.
All right.
That's good.
It'll be something to distract you from the fact that Vandal Savage is going to feature heavily in the episode.
Oh, I know. I saw his ass and I went, oh.
Yeah, Night of the Hawk, What Left Behind. I don't know. Yeah, we got 2 more episodes before they go on break for what looks like 1 week.
Mm-hmm.
And then, that's going to be weird. All right, March 17th, and then March 31st, so we're skipping the 24th, and then April 14th. So I guess we're going to have like Yeah, they're gonna skip an episode, do an episode, skip an episode, do an episode, and then they come back for their the sprint to the finish there.
Okay. Well, this episode of Legends of Tomorrow got 2.28 million, so it's been pretty on point for all the other episodes except for the first episode. They lost about 1 million viewers, and then they stayed steady. So,
yeah, they're hanging in there.
Last I heard, like the president of the network was talking about, like, I mean, he was referencing maybe bringing Vixen in for season 2 of Legends, and that was last week. So.
Right.
I'm guessing they're not thinking that it's worth throwing out just yet.
No, man. Right now, I still have it at least an 80% chance of getting renewed. It's not doing any worse than anything else on that network.
Yeah. So. Woo.
So I mean, we have gotten to the point in these seasons where now we're having discussions about what's going to make it and what we might be having next year and all that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Businesses are discussing filthy lucre.
Right. Well, I mean, look at the average viewership for the rest of CW's canon. Like Flash, Arrow, DC, Legends of Tomorrow, you got like 3.6, 2.6, and 2.5. Mm-hmm. And then the next highest show is like 1.8, and it starts going down from there. Mm-hmm. They've got a couple of shows that, as far as I know, are still looking at being renewed that aren't hitting the 1 million mark.
Mm-hmm. That's a good point.
Yeah. Yeah. I think we might have it again, especially if they can pony up the money.
Yeah. Which I'd be okay if they didn't. You know me, man. I don't care for special effects. I like people hanging around talking.
Yeah, I know.
Don't show me fighting. I'm good.
Yeah.
Let's do like 3 episodes of Snart and somebody having coffee. I'm okay. Like, yay, another one of those.
Right. You know the weird part though? I just realized this. If you actually sit there and rank the 18 to 49 demo.
Uh-huh.
You know, where you get your 1.42, 1.02, those sorts of ratings. And then the viewers in the millions. If you rank all of CW's shows, or at least where they were, I think it's just where they were this week. But if you rank them that way, they're almost identical. Like, there's almost no change. Mm-hmm. Apparently it just makes no difference. Like, the viewers they're getting are all the 18 to 49.
Yeah.
Feels right, though. This isn't exactly like... CW is not, a network for 55-year-old people, nor is it necessarily appropriate for a 7-year-old.
It's not?
Oh, well.
I don't know. I was still pretty excited, though. I mean, not everything is as perfect as I wanted it to be, but we have no right to be watching this. This is...
Yeah.
I mean, this just to be able to complain about the actor playing Vandal Savage is kind of a blessing.
It's a wonderful world.
Like, I don't like this guy who plays Vandal Savage. Like 14-year-old me, who has noticed that everything he loves has died because Batman and Robin wasn't very good, is going, "You're a dick."
Yeah, I mean, look at the rest of the stuff. Like the CW renewed a show called I've never watched the 100. I actually hear it's worth my time, but I don't have that time. So, but they renewed a show that was getting it. I think the highest it had was 1.8, and the lowest it had was 1.3 and some change. Mm-hmm. That got another season. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think we're fine on Legends.
I don't know why they don't just cancel everything that's not a DC superhero show.
I mean, CW just have to rebrand itself completely.
Not really. Just add more DC shows. Like, it's already the DC superhero network.
I know, but they'd feel the need to rebrand and capitalize on that. No marketing agent in the history of marketing can resist that urge. They're just not built for it. It's not in the wiring. The DNA says capitalize.
Right. Well, you can give us, like I just said, you can give us superhero shows when no one fights. Just do it.
We are getting that. We're getting Powerless, maybe.
Oh yeah. And on that joyful note, I think we'll zip out of here.
Yeah, let's do it.
I think we're coming back with a news episode on Monday, which you guys will probably get it around Tuesday. So we are DC On Screen. You can find every episode at DCOnScreen.com. Thank you to everyone who listens and everyone who writes in to us. We do appreciate it. We enjoy talking to you guys a lot.
Yes! Still working on a ton of drawings. Have patience.
Yes, we are. We are working on a bunch of drawings. They're racking up. So, and you can see all those pictures on Facebook as we get them posted. Drawn and posted. Yeah, we are part of the Giant Size Team Up Network, GiantSizeTeamUp.com. Our sister show, Marvel Cinematic Universe Podcast, self-explanatory. Matt Carroll, Jeff Randall, grew up with Matt Carroll, great guy. Go over there and check out his shit, man. MCUcast.com. We will see you guys later on in the week. Until then, keep some DC on y'all screen.
Judy was boring.
Hello.
Then Judy discovered ChumbaCasino.com.
It's my little escape.
Now Judy's the life of the party.
Oh, baby, mama's bringing home the bacon.
Whoa, take it easy, Judy. The Chumba life is for everybody. So go to ChumbaCasino.com and play over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Here's to choice, to making your voice be heard, to getting exactly what you want, especially when you eat. At Subway restaurants, you choose your freshly baked bread, meats, cheese, and veggies to make a sub that's just right for you. Come in and create yours today. Subway, eat fresh.